Well, I really think, honestly, especially in nowadays, like where things are going so crazy with this administration, with people not getting to live their true full self life, we should do way more advocacy as we could, because we need to change this narrative of people being ignorant to other folks living their life a little differently. You know what I mean? I'm like, just because we like to live our life a little bit more glammed up or a little bit different than these quote unquote cis people. Um, uh, I think we should let everybody live, no matter what. So to me, it's really important to do things like this because it's empowering. It gives like generations hope. You know what I mean? Where you can be like, you don't have to conform to society standards. Does really not matter. Be yourself, no matter what. See, I want them to see that the sky is the limit when it comes to being yourself. That you don't have to put yourself in a box and not be happy because you have to be in a certain type of box. You know what I mean? Sometimes people like to be just different. You know what I mean? That's what I want people to get from that. I want people to be empowered of being themselves. Well, let me just explain this real quick. So I'm part of the trans community because I'm non-conforming, so it falls in the trans spectrum. So for us, for the girls, we can say tranny, but when it comes to the cis folks, y'all leave that be. Y'all don't say that at all, okay? Like that's not your word to use. Now it's in my name, so it doesn't. If you just say, "Hey, tranny bear," that is not offensive. But if you go out of your way to call one of the girls that, then that is offensive as fuck. So you should definitely be more considerate. Just because I use it in my name, it was actually trans women that gave me the name. You know what I mean? Because they were like, "Oh, you're a bear, but you're also tranny, girl. So you should be tranny bear." I was like, "I love it." You know what I mean? So like, I pay homage to my sisters. You know what I mean? I'm not using it in a derogatory way. You know what I mean? But there's too many cis folks that like to use that word in such a derogatory way, which should not be used that way. So I always say this. My T sisters and brothers and all my non-binary folk out there, we can use it as much as we want. It's just the cis folks. Let it be. Okay? I would say definitely don't rush into it. Be sure of what you're doing with yourself. Really know yourself. Get to know yourself. Honestly, that's really important because sometimes you have outside influences telling you what to do, and then some people rely too much on that. I've known girls that gotten crazy surgery because all their friends kept saying, "Get pumped, get this, get that," and I'm like, it's not necessary. If you don't want it really within yourself, if you want it, you should get it. I mean, shit, I would do a little lipo, take these out and put them in my butt. I'm down for that, honey. I'm like, but like everybody is entitled to their own true self. So like they should live for themselves, not for anybody else. So don't jump right into it. Really figure out your way. Know your history. Do some research. You know what I mean? It's to me that's really important. It's important that we actually like know our history, be who we want to be, but also like pay respect to the people that have been there before, because you can't just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna just do this today and then tomorrow I'll just go back to my normal self." I'm like, no, be consistent in who you are. Don't just be like, "Oh, one day I want to live my fantasy and then I'll just go back to being some cis person." I was like, that's idiotic, honestly. You know what I mean? Because that gives us, the people that really live their life every day to their true self, kind of like, "Oh yeah, well, what is that supposed to be?" You know what I mean? I'm like, it's dismissive in that way, you know. So that's what I really